Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast. It's going to be a pretty interesting one. There's been a lot of crazy stories and just really interesting realizations that have been happening recently in the news, just and in life in general. And I think everyone is kind of waking up now. I mean, I've been just talking to a lot of different interesting people, and the majority of people that I meet, at least, have some type of problem with how things are going with the Biden administration. And I'm not just coming out with like just bad news only, but yeah, but this is actually good news because it means that people are actually realizing what's going on. So I'm happy about that. And the first story we're going to talk about is this interesting story. When I saw it, I was like, this sounds crazy. It says humans could erase unhappy memories with groundbreaking neurotechnology. So this is pretty crazy. So they're saying that you could erase unhappy memories. I feel like I don't think they perfected this, but I would like to see like people who tried it and then see if they're just like the same person afterwards, or do they have just like some severe memory loss or something weird. But it sounds pretty crazy. Like if you can just legit delete memories, I don't know how you exactly find it, but this is what they said: a radical new technique to target and erase painful memories has raised huge ethical problems, says a leading neurologist, because it threatens to artificially change a person's personality. The memory editing technique, which is called decoded neurofeedback or DECNEF, was created for the treatment of PTSD. It uses an electromagnet similar to an MRI scanner to measure various changes in the brain, such as the level of oxygen in the blood. The data gathered by the scanner is sent in real time to an artificially intelligent imagine learning agent that maps which areas of the brain are active when particular memories are stimulated. Okay, so I don't know if it's deleting bad memories or it's deleting how you feel about them, like detaching emotion from a certain memory. I guess deleting those pathways, but interesting. I kind of get how it works, but it just sounds very, I don't know. It's not like crazy or bad or anything. It's just like if you're gonna do this, then you must be going through a lot of stress over whatever you're remembering, and you're just like, I would rather not feel the way I do when I remember these things. And that would be it would be a really personal decision, but I don't personally think this is evil unless they were like pushing this out there as like legit treatment. I think this is like a last resort type thing that people would definitely have to seek out or something. I don't know. Maybe people just want to delete their memories, but I don't know. Would you be the same afterwards? And just what happens later on in life when you're like 60, 80, 90? Like, do you just you just like just turn into a vegetable or something? But continuing, it says Aurelio Cortez, a computational neuroscientist and principal investigator of the ATR Computational Neuroscience Labs, told Inverse a that the AI component is vital to understanding what's going on in the human brain. Machine learning is used to learn the neural representation of the target mental representation in the first place, he said. This machine learning decoder is then used in the neurofeedback procedure to detect the activation patterns and compute the likelihood that it corresponds to a target pattern. Interesting. I mean, how accurate is this? Like, I was watching the Neuralink represent the what do they call it presentations, and they were talking about how even though it's the same motion, the brain will change basically the pathways that it uses to use the same motion. Like just pushing your hand out, it's not always the same pushing your hand out. Like it feels to you like you just know what you're doing. You're just pushing your hand out, but your brain is using different pathways every time in whatever configuration it deems is the right one to get you to do that action that you want to do. So it's not just always just like the same, like 1 2 = 3. No, it sometimes it's different. So I don't know how accurate this would be. It's just like it seems as though there would be a vast amount of things that you're trying to remember, or things that make you feel a certain emotion, and you'll just like it just won't exist. Just I think this is like removing emotion, like, or empathy at least. I mean, you can't even be like you can't even look over or review your whole own life in a way that's critical, like a bad thing you did or a bad thing that happened. You can't see what good came of it or what bad came of it. It'll just, I don't know. I guess, will you forget, or will it still be a memory, but it just causes no bad feelings? I mean, this is very interesting. I would like to see. I would like to hear from somebody who actually did this and have like a documentary of like 6 months of their life before and 6 months of their life after, and do like an in-depth, like, day to day, be just like interviewing the people who this person's met and seeing if they notice any differences, monitoring personal habits. Like, if I was doing a study and I was a scientist on this stuff, that's what I would be doing, because it just seems like this is going to augment somebody drastically. It says the memories aren't deleted, okay, in the same way we delete unwanted documents from a computer. Cortese stresses that DECNEF teaches the patient to control and suppress the brain's natural response. In 2018, researchers at the University of California, Berkeley announced that they had taken the first steps towards using holographic projection into the brain to switch individual neurons or potentially entire areas containing thousands of neurons. That technique would enable them to cut and paste activity from one part of the brain into another, fooling the brain into thinking it has felt, seen, or sensed something that has never happened. That's crazy. Like, okay, now this is like next level The Matrix type activity here. Basically saying that they can map sensations or thoughts or emotions or whatever tied to your brain, like your neurons, and copy and paste it from one part of the brain to another, fooling the brain into thinking it has felt, seen, or sensed something that has never happened. That's pretty amazing. I think that's incredible. This opens the doorway to a lot of things. I watch anime, so Sword Art Online. Like, this is always the thing I think about when people talk about things like this. I'm like, this is legit Sword Art Online. Just, it's gonna be crazy.